I got both microphones, plugged them in, and draped them over. Okay, so I built my first studio at 16 in my parents' basement. So I was in this singing group in high school, and we all wanted to record, we wanted to go to the studio, we wanted to do a lot of different things. But none of us had ever really been in the studio or nothing like that, so we didn't really know what to do. So I had this brilliant idea. My parents' basement wasn't finished, and I had got this karaoke machine for Christmas one year. I had 2 microphones, and so I decided I was gonna set the karaoke machine on top of my mom's sewing desk. And I got on a ladder, and I got both microphones, plugged them in, and draped them over. I draped them over the piping in the ceiling so that they would come down, because that's what I saw. Like I think I saw like a Brian McKnight video where he had the mic hanging down and he was singing, and then you know the Temptations, they singing like that, and also I'm trying to hook it up. So I draped the mugs over there, hang them down. They had an on and off switch. It was crazy. I could turn the echo up. It was called echo, it wasn't called reverb. I could turn the echo up, all types of stuff, control the volume. So we think we doing it. Now my karaoke machine was top tier, bro. It had 2 cassette slots, and it had a CD player on top. You see what I'm saying? So my homeboy, he was downloading music from, I think it was SoundClick. It was a site like that. I can't remember what site it was at that time, but it was a long time ago. So he would download it, he burned it on a CD, and he would bring it in. So essentially what we would do is put the CD in, put a tape in, press record, press play on the CD player, let it play. We would sing through these draped over karaoke mics. And then when we were done, we would stop it. And then we would swap it, hit play, record on the second tape so we could record a dub. So it's recording all in or whatever. So we doing that, we recorded our first demo like that. I think it was like a 3-track demo. So we decided we were gonna upgrade. So me and him, we went half on a Tascam mixer that had the cassette on it. So that way we didn't have to use a karaoke machine. So we get some microphones, we go in, we record, and we still doing our overdubs over and over again, getting the songs to sound the way that they want to do. So they're on cassette, but we're in high school and cassettes are played out. So now we got to figure out how to convert them to CDs and stuff. So we stopped using those internet beats, and I wound up getting my first beat machine. My first beat machine wasn't actually a beat machine. It was actually a game. It was a game called MTV Music Generator. It was on PlayStation 1. So I would sit and I would make beats on this game. So other people playing NBA 2K Street on PS2 and Madden and all that. And I had a couple of those games, but I had my MTV Music Generator. So when I would get home from marching band practice or track practice or whatever, take my shower, do my homework, I'm in the room making beats on the PlayStation. So for those of you who remember back then, it wasn't no place where you could save it onto the PlayStation. You had to have these memory cards that were about this big. And you put them into the slots. And so I racked up a bunch of memory cards because I was making beats. So we're making all of these beats, The issue was there was no way to take the beats from the memory card and transfer them to the computer easily. So my homeboy, he wound up getting a computer, and he wound up getting just a small setup to record, Pro Tools and all of that stuff. So what we had to do in order to record, he stayed in the neighborhood behind me, so I would literally grab my PlayStation, MTV Music Generator, all my memory cards. Now mind you, it ain't no such thing as gigs back then. This junk was like 1 megabyte, 2 megabytes, 4 megabytes, and then I got fancy. Once I got them ones that you could see through, and them others was like 8 megabytes and 16 megabytes, and I was saving all kind of beats on there. It was crazy, it was a wrap. So anyway, I grabbed my PlayStation, MTV Music Generator, grabbed all of my memory cards, so whichever ones the beats was gonna be on. And I would go hop the fence. I know it looked crazy. Hop the fence, go over to his crib. We go up in the studio room. We had the computer and we had a TV. And we had to have a TV there because we had to plug the game into the TV, load the screen up, find the beat, cue the beat to the beginning, route a chord from the PlayStation to the computer, hit record in Pro Tools, and then press play or press X on the PlayStation controller to start letting it play. So we had to just let it play through the whole track. Once it's done, unplug it, plug it back into the TV, save it, exit out, load up the next one. That's how we had to do our process. Like, it was no easy process with that thing. The jump was the craziest thing. But it taught me how to work with what I had, and we did what we had to do. Again, like, this is 2001, 2002. I didn't have FL Studio. I had a computer, but it was slow. I didn't know about any of that. All I knew was MTV Music Generator. And I made a bunch of beats. I think our first 2 projects, all those beats was done on the PlayStation.